So the title was in Latin. It's very pretentious, but I kind of got it. A red herring missing time is what it said.
Very good. You looked it up. That's nice.
I did look it up. Actually, I didn't have to look up the second part because I took Latin in high school.
And you speak French, and it's very close.
It's close. Yeah, we speak French.
It's not close at all.
I think there are clues in the title as to what's going on. Red herring. You wore a red dress.
Yes.
There's something visually going on. You're trying to tell us secretly what's going on. I think the red herring is actually Kevin.
I'm not revealing anything. This film went through, I'd say maybe 3 different genres, right? I mean, it started out as a drama with the whole relationship thing. And then there was the comedy with the dialogue that was improvised, by the way. And then it ended with, I guess you could say, suspense.
Now the question on our minds is, let's be honest, whose boobs were those?
I don't know.
Was it yours?
Yes.
Okay,
It was mine.
yeah, that makes sense.
It was not Jordan.
It was yours, Vincent.
It was mine. It was mine.
You didn't exactly correct his behavior either, see? You know what? You and I, we're done.
And now I'm over here with you and we're taking shots and this table is so dirty.
You fucked up.
So were you actually drunk and drinking actual liquor?
No.
Why not? That's what I do on my sets.
I think
Yes, he does.
They considered illegal.
What? Nah, we're just having a good time. We're at a pub. You can buy a drink. You can have fun. How was it to act drunk? How difficult was it?
It was not difficult. I have gotten. Listen. She doesn't need to know. Yeah, it was fun. I really like being goofy on stage, especially because I'm a stage actor first.
Nice.
But being.
Who to what now? Sir.
Yeah, no, I love the whole like goofy sort of flopping around. That's why I like sort of ensemble so much as well, because you play like 15 different
You can
characters.
feed off of the other actors, absolutely. I think one of the techniques I learned. Improv is difficult. I tried that. I can't. One of the techniques for playing drunk, acting drunk, is to pretend you're drunk, trying not to be drunk.
Yep.
That's always a really good technique to. And the same thing applies for crying on camera as well.
What was your inspiration for making this particular piece?
What was my inspiration? Well, okay. When I was a kid, I really liked unsolved mysteries. And there was a lot of segments, I find, where people were dealing with missing time. And I wanted to make a film where there was like this gap in the memory that, you know, she had like no idea what the hell happened to her. And I wanted to have like a setup that could set up a few suspects for potentially what happened to her. So yeah, that was my inspiration.
I love it. Ben, you have great questions. That's why I need you in the audience. That's why I refer to you in the audience. Don't leave me, Ben, because I know where you live. And the anxiety, the pressure, just the future ahead of us, and just everything. Conformity. I don't know. I got a lot from it. I have questions I'm going to ask.
Yeah, for sure.
Time's up, pens down.
I love the music. The music sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, really does. So like it was actually like 2 videos, and then at the end we were just like, let's make it into 1 video. For the first part, we had like this really like sad like music, like we were like in like the booth, like editing room, just like going on art lists and just be like, no, not this one, okay. And then we went with it, and we're just like, that's the one. Like it just like dinged for both of us.
You know when you know. It's
yeah,
so melancholy.
Exactly.
Like imagine taking those visuals and putting something comedic over it. It's a totally different film.
Yeah.
It's the power of music. It was so well chosen.
A shared burden between us, an untold understanding that we turn to cope.
I'd say like on the train scene, like it transitioned into like a more upbeat, like song, and then like that's kind of like when we see like the characters going out to these activities to kind of cope with like, you know, like the anxiety, the depression, and I just thought that was a really cool way of doing it.
It adds a totally different dimension to it. It was really well done, and you know, are you gonna post it on YouTube for people to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
films like this, it sometimes takes a second watch to really grasp all the stuff in it. Is it a personal film?
No, like, wasn't personal. I was kind of like brought on, I just like to bring the like visual like direction, and like it was my first time directing like a short film. Like this is like my debut, so yeah. I also want to give like a big shout out to my friend here, Vanna, who's like my DP on this, also the colorist. So.
We keep walking this path, we'll leave our mark and dream of all the things we are yet to get.
No, it's really good because it's very poetic. Who wrote the words?
Oh,
the words.
Yes. She's not here, Nafisa. She's actually a poet, so.
She was
the final frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nafisa was the person that was in the final frame writing in her journal in her bedroom. But she essentially made a pretty long poem, and it kind of was the script and the storyboard for how we were going to plan to shoot. Eventually, we had to cut out some pieces just because of length, but for the most part, we got the key parts of the poem.
I love it. There's these two words, shared burden. That resonates because there is misery in company, but it's just to feel like you're united in this. You're not alone.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be difficult, but at least you have each other.
Yeah, I do wish she was here so she could talk about it, honestly.
I know. So Oscar had the meditation video.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I was so relaxed during the whole thing.
That's my intention.
Oh, thank you. So what I love about it is you're trying to meditate, but you keep getting sidetracked. Isn't that life?
Right, yes, and that's meditation.
That's meditation.
You can't be perfect. It's all about, the practice.
You have now finished the body scan portion of the meditation.
Where do you record your sound?
Just in my room on the Yeti mic?
Nice. That's pretty cool. I love that. You can do stuff anywhere. Have you ever heard of doing it in your closet? A lot of people do it with their clothes. No, wait. It's a thing because of the sound dampening.
You're making it weird.
No, it's a thing. Right? You record sound in your closet.
I don't have a closet.
Oh.
I only have drawers. It's one of the great tragedies of my life.
I love the way you totally ignore all narrative conventions in your films.
Mm-hmm.
Who are your influencers? Or who do you...
Well, for this film, I was specifically just thinking about, whatever the Headspace app and then, rip-off videos. That was sort of, the visual element of it. And then in terms of, I don't know. Actually, my inspiration would be, just my thinking and, what it's like meditating.
Oh, look at the time. We're done here. You can open your eyes.
Can we find the video on YouTube to practice our meditation?
It's not on YouTube. I guess it might be in the future. Yeah. It's not like a difficult process, right? So to upload a YouTube video.
But you did admit you're lazy, so
Yeah, that is the problem.
Sean, yes.
Oh, it's please make a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. You have 7 right now you can dump on there.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay.
We are very critical of ourselves. That's
We
not
are.
a question, that's just a comment I wrote down there. There was a lot of...
You got the message.
I got the message. And there was a lot of doubt.
Yes.
It's so pricey. Are you sure you can afford it? Aren't you a little late in getting it done?
So that character was you, right? She wasn't real.
No, she wasn't real.
She was not real.
You got it! Woohoo! You got the twist!
I'm intelligent. What's up? So, near the end, you showed cracks in the foundation.
Yes.
Explain the symbolism.
So that was with the help of Dennis, actually. Dennis got me thinking about symbolism, and I'm very poetic in the way that I do my filming. Because I write poetry first, that's really my first art form. And the cracks are really the cracks in your soul, I guess. When you're feeling like you're being attacked and what you feel is right is attacked, it cracks your soul a little bit and you feel like, okay, I don't feel comfortable here, but somehow I want to let this in, but I don't. So that crack is kind of open so that it lets the toxic energy in, but you really don't want it there, so it cracks you up a little.
The interest rate on mortgages. There was a stabbing. Aren't you a little late in getting it done?
You cried.
I did.
In front of the camera, in front of the mirror.
I know.
How did you bring that out?
Well, it was a trick. Candace, who's the main actress in the film, taught me this trick. She said that sort of water in your eyes and it looks like there's tears coming down, but then also emote at the same time. So it looks very genuine, because I have a really hard time crying on cue.
Well, don't ruin
but I
it
was
for us.
I was feeling the emotion though.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
feeling it very genuinely.
You could tell there was something going on there, because this is your film, these are your words, and you felt it and you brought it. Absolutely. One of my tricks is I put Vicks Vapor Rub under my eyes. It's perfectly safe, but it's like, la, 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 la.
I wonder if you can maybe discuss your thoughts on how creative output, whether in filmmaking or writing, helps people with whatever issues they may be dealing with.
Yeah, I think it's the most healing way of expressing whatever is going on with you. I think that when you're creating, you're actually putting yourself out there. No matter what you're creating, part of you is out there.
Yeah.
And when you're exposing yourself, you're also healing yourself. At least that's why I create, because it allows me also to make social commentary at the same time. So it's a very great release. And honestly, it's therapy's useful, but creativity is how you really get it out there and you really express it.
That's amazing. We're having conversations here. We all relate to all the films on some level. We shed our humanity and our vulnerability. It's amazing. That is what film is. What was the location? Because it wasn't actually a bar or a restaurant. It was someone's home, was it?
It was. Wow. It was actually a house. Living room got really changed for filming there. So it was very interesting because after we were done, we reset the whole space, and our actors were like, whoa. And I could see where they were coming from.
They were like, I will have a coffee. Like, I don't work here. This is my home.
Oh, come on. At least do it discreetly or something. Is this some kind of prank?
It's true, these little things, these little quirks in people that get us riled up, isn't it? You're just like, no.
Wow. Guess she didn't truly find that funny.
I have to confess something. I swish my wine. Does that mean we can't go on a date ever?
So, so the funny thing went like this. So we wrote the story. I think we also already kind of were done with the shooting. And then Tarek here goes, you do know that it's okay to do that with the wine, right? And I'm like, yeah, we'll have to live with it.
or like chewing with your mouth open. That's a big thing. No?
That's a big thing. Yeah, there's a couple of things out there. Yeah, the laugh clapping was one that I took from I think my high school days, like early on, somewhere in Benin, West Africa. We had a lady that just brought that style in, and it became all the rage. She was doing it nicely.
Oh, she's loving life. It's great.
Yeah. So.
You've never heard of the Charm Hop, have you?
No. What's that?
It's the latest social media platform. Everyone posts on it doing the oddest things and it's supposed to be charming.
Did you feel that these are like our pet peeves, or these are things that we, like they come from you, or were you imagining somebody else?
No, I don't think it came from us. We really wanted it to be about, you know, like these little things that other people do that's not quite your thing, and you're like, nah, sorry. You kind of like swipe right, swipe left kind of thing a little bit.
It was very interesting. A lot of room for interpretation. The color grading, and grading is the color you put over the film. Like, why that choice?
I really like the pink tone.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put it on my computer to edit more, but I was stuck on my iPhone. I couldn't get anything off because I'm new to iPhone. I'm an Android guy. So
yeah.
You taught me how to...
Speaking of cults. Oh yeah, whatever.
But no, that pink color, I really liked that visual of showing kind of that theme.
That's right. Color adds tone and mood. You kept cutting to the flowers, and I love that. Why?
I wanted to show like a sweet side to the darkness of both characters.
And it resonated. People reacted to it. You heard
Yeah,
that, right?
the ducks.
Oh, that's good. But it works. It works. And that the last shot is the mask where you have the audience put on the mask and see through the eyes of the killer.
Yeah.
Like, are we all killers? What's going on here?
I wanted to add sort of a personal aspect to it of like we kind of all kind of see through the eye of some kind of darkness at times, but when we get through it, you know, there's always something like a flower at the other end of it, or something nice when you look through it.
The intention was to take stock footage and try to edit it into a film, but there was no villain. So I enrolled my brother to be a villain, but it didn't work out. So then I enrolled a Blender 3D model.
Oh, wow.
With the latest news from the anchor desk, Laura Lament. Lara.
The Ascendus situation is volatile. Heroes are raging and have gone radioactive.
The woman talking at the beginning in the reporting,
That's AI.
She was AI.
Yeah.
Totally AI. Yeah, it's a thing now. AI is nuts.
I mean, she's a real actress, but
Oh,
I've never met her, and she doesn't know my lines.
But
because
she
she's
modeled her
computer.
face for the
Exactly.
computer.
Yeah.
So she can say anything you want her to say.
That's right. And all the voices in the film were also AI.
And the voices were AI, absolutely.
This place is creeping me out, Sarge. Quit the chatter. Do your job.
I wanted to practice green screen, so the intention was to try to insert like a real actor into footage, and as I say, that this stock footage guy had shot all these individual clips, but it wasn't a narrative, it wasn't a story, so I thought, oh, well, I could probably put something together, but the green screen part didn't work out.
The shadows, the darkness. You said about hard lighting. What's that all about?
It's cackling maniacally. No, that's stupid. Why would he laugh?
Normally, as a cinematographer, you soften the heck out of everything. You want soft light, makes your actors look amazing. Now, noir is interesting because you use the hardest light you could possibly have. Bare bulbs, all sorts of stuff. So I had to do the opposite of what I always do. So have a super bright light in the corner, have another light getting that kind of Venetian blind? Is that what you call that? Effect behind him. So a big part of it's shadow play, and I don't know, I think the biggest thing is it's how do I kind of cut my actors out of this frame to get the most kind of contrast possible, which is really hard on digital cameras, because on film it's you don't have that much latitude, so it's really very much black and white, but with digital we shoot log, which is very flat, so how do you pull that image out? And when me and Ben were shooting, we're shooting on a camera that doesn't shoot black and white, it shoots color. So that's a whole factor. So it's I had to imagine in my brain, how do I get the best black and white image out of this color image? So there was some interesting stuff using different colored light to pull out different amounts of contrast.
I noticed in post you pulled some of the shadows up and you had a diffused glow over the whole image and stuff like that. It was really interesting.
Eventually, one of them gives up where the girl is.
Why the ratio of 4:3?
I feel like that's you.
Because, I mean, it's classical noir cinema, movies from the 1930s and before. So this is vaguely set in the 1930s. I have a weird fascination with that era. But movies from that era and in the noir style in general are generally in 4:3. It was the Academy ratio for a very long time. So it just was okay, this has to be 4:3.
I'm just writing the same shit over and over again.
How cool is it to smoke cigarettes? on camera. Because it's an extension of your character, right?
Yeah.
Did you inhale?
So,
no.
I have smoked one cigar in my life prior to shooting this film. We bought a pack of herbal cigarettes for this because when Colin and I were first pitching the idea, and I was I want it to be about really this writer trying to tell this noir story. And we agreed it had to be me, but he said he should also smoke. And I was you're right. That's such a classic noir look. We get smoke everywhere. It looks great. Also, like, it kind of ties into, like, I have personal vices that affect my writing, mainly caffeine.
So you had to deliver lines without having the other actor say lines.
It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Because I couldn't go back and forth between the characters, I had to be all of one and then all of the other. So there was nothing to react to. So if I had to do it again, I would have had something to keep my eye line the same. I would have had something to help me feel the responses that I need to have as opposed to just going through the lines. But it was a phenomenal learning experience and incredibly challenging.
You're always telling me to calm down.
You got to get yourself together. This is not healthy for you.
People don't realize the challenges of acting. You're used to doing theater acting, and then you come into cinema acting, and it's like stop and go, and you don't really get into the momentum of things.
Totally different beast.